I was human trafficked as a kid. And yeah, it's a weird thing to say. I honestly have no idea where this video is going to go. This is completely unscripted. But somebody told me something recently that I felt compelled like I needed to make this video. I don't know what that compulsion exactly is. I feel like someone out there might benefit from hearing this story. And you will notice that there is nothing going on in this video. There's no Nintendo Wii music this time. There's no intro. There won't be an outro. This is it. This is the entire video. I'm deathly serious when I talk about this, and I don't know if I'll be able to make it through this video, but I am going to upload it no matter what I say or do. When I was about 14 or 15, I had what I considered to be a friend, and he told me that he had an older friend that would pay money if I had sex with him, but he wouldn't tell me who it was at the time. So he invited me to come with him the next day to San Antonio, where we all hung out together, me and a group of these other guys. And I did not know that one of those guys was going to be the guy who wanted to pay money to have sex with me. And at the end of the day, he revealed that one of the guys, and not that it really mattered, but it was also the ugliest out of the group, apparently was one of those who wanted to pay $100 to have sex with me. And as a 14-year-old, $100 is $100, right? Like, that's a lot of money. Even as an adult, $100 is a lot of money to me. So that's basically my entire heat bill for last month. And of course, I'm a growing boy and I don't really know what's going on. I'm also very troubled, which he knew. I'm sure anybody who has kept up with what's been going on with me here recently probably could have guessed that I was probably a troubled youth. And I told you I didn't know where this was going to go. We go from whenever I was a kid, getting these stupid little good job diplomas, skipping away all the way to the back. Or actually, we don't even have to go to the back. This is from whenever I was like in 8th grade and I was trying to run away because my home life was so bad. This is actually a letter I wrote. I haven't actually read this in a long time. I remember just calling my family people, and that's it. It says, people, I'm leaving. If you were reading this, I'm probably already gone. That was me in 8th grade. So this was maybe a year or two removed from that. I lived in a town of 1,500 people. People in that town clearly knew that I had problems, but they thought that I was the problem, not that I came from a troubled home. I believe that opinion has shifted since I've left, but not that I really care. I've found out. I've not been back to that town more than twice in the last 15 years. And is it any wonder why? Let's get back to the story, I guess. So, like I said, it was revealed that he wanted to have sex with me for $100, and I said okay. And he got real nervous about it, as understandably, I guess one would if he were about to do a pedophilic act, and said, come back a different day. Incidentally, this was not that far away from where I lived at the time, and so I kept going back. And I'm not sure why I kept going back. I didn't feel like I was encouraged to go back either, like, at least overtly, but I kept getting asked, did you go back? And it's just one of those grooming techniques that they use to not, like, pressure you into it, but to keep it in your mind. And this is all stuff that I've realized since I became an adult. I, of course, had no idea as a kid this is something that they do. And eventually one day I go over there and he's good to go. And I end up getting an STD. Now, thankfully, this particular STD is one that everybody gets, but because I was so young whenever I got it, it caused some complications. So it wasn't that great to live with. I'm STD free now, just so we're clear. I should mention I'm talking about HPV in particular in this case. However, because of my young age and because I wasn't supposed to necessarily have been getting that in the butt at my age, and because there was like a rip, because he was kind of forceful, and of course I'm like not used to getting done that way. Yeah, it was a whole thing. And Texas's lack of access to fucking affordable healthcare is just a joke on its own. But I had no idea for many years that what had happened was all planned and intentional, and why, after all that, the guy who had groomed me basically didn't want anything to do with me anymore. And I mean, well into my adult life, I didn't understand that. Every time I would even be remotely back in his neck of the woods, he would want nothing to do with me, even though I felt like we were friends. And so I knew that this had done something for my ability to maintain a relationship, because this was not the only time that I had been sexually assaulted in my life, but this is the one I truly didn't understand. Like the other ones I got, like somebody just came and they just sexually assaulted me, and that was it, right? Like I didn't want it, they did it anyway. But this was the one where they actually like planned it and let it happen over a period of time and really let it fester in my brain. I mean, it really messed me up, and I didn't know how badly up until probably last year, if I'm being honest. And I'm 32 years old. And honestly, the only reason why I think I even figured it out is because of my ex. And I don't think she intended for this, but she may have saved my life. To explain, we had been dating for over 3 months, and I made an off-color joke that implied that I was going to take advantage of her one day. And not to imply anything remotely nefarious or heinous. I mean, I told the same joke to numerous other people, and nobody thought anything of it. I just don't want to say it aloud on YouTube, because I know that I'll get filleted in the comments, right? And I still maintain the joke, while in very poor taste, should have been recognized as such, a joke. And any normal person would have recognized it as a joke. But instead, she turned it around on me and made me feel like I was a perpetrator of some kind. And when that hit me, I lost it. I don't think I ever had felt that kind of hurt in my life, even when I was being sexually abused. The fact that I didn't just slap her. Now, I realize that with me having just said that, there's going to be a lot of people going, he thinks he should be given a medal because he didn't hit a woman. Good for fucking him. I'm going to go ahead and unsubscribe. Bear with me on this one. I already know that I'm fucking crazy. Don't fucking hit your woman. It's not cool. My point is, I would never do any of this stuff. That's the whole goddamn point. And if anybody who had been with me for over 3 months at that point and had an extended history with me to that point should have known this. The only reason why she even acted the way that she did is because she was tired of the relationship and decided to use that as her way out. Regardless if she actually felt the way that she did or not, it still got put back onto me, and it made me feel the way that I did, and it made me wonder why I felt the way that I did. And we got back to here. We got back to me being human trafficked whenever I was a kid. You know what I had to go through to get to that fucking point? First off, I had to move because I was living basically with this person. I then went through an entire nervous breakdown. When I tried seeking treatment for that nervous breakdown, I was basically shot down by the one place in this area that every doctor recommended I go. When I finally got that place to actually accept me, it turned out that place was okay. It wasn't necessarily anything I would take 2 weeks off of work for. But in the end, I don't feel any better. I actually feel worse now than I did when I started this whole fucking thing. The only difference now is, at least now I understand why. And I know I'm reliving the past. Now all of this shit that I've buried, I'm now having to dig back up. It honestly takes a lot for me to get as close as I did to my ex. And I was not even particularly close to her. And she flat out made me feel like a rapist over a joke. But I'm glad that she did, because I don't know how much longer it would have taken me to come to this realization had she not done that, but it may have cost me my life. So Lana, if you're ever out there and watching this video, if somebody ever tells you I'm on here, like, bitching about you, yeah, I'm still bitching about you. But thank you. You brought me a little bit of closure on my childhood somehow. I'm sure you had no fucking intention of that happening. And I'm sure you don't give a shit. But you have no idea how much it meant to me.